The year is 1996. Independence Day and Scream were making their debut in theaters, back when we could go to those, and Super Mario 64 was Nintendo's most recent Mario game, which was one of the very first mainstream 3D games where you could walk in 3D space. Even if this game is 24 years old, it has some really interesting mysteries. In fact, there is a whole iceberg of mysteries, the popular ones at the top, and the not so popular ones at the bottom. I will be covering all of these Super Mario 64 mysteries on this channel. Some of these mysteries will have their own dedicated videos, others will be covered together, which means there will be multiple mysteries in one video. It just depends how much information there is for each mystery. So let's start at the tip of the iceberg with one of the most popular gaming mysteries, L is Real 2401. Super Mario 64, a game that set a lot of rules most 3D games use today. When you start off in Super Mario 64, you see Mario jumping out of a pipe. Then you're free to roam around the front of Peach's castle. Once you enter Peach's castle, you can get to the courtyard. There, you will find the statue that has confused tons of people and sparked tons of theories. Today I'll be covering some of the theories of what the plaque on the statue actually says. Among those theories is the ever so popular L is Real 2401. This theory is the most likely to be true. When you look at the statue, it does look like it says Eternal Star. If you take the text Eternal Star and use the font that Super Mario 64 uses, then blur it, it also resembles the blurry look of the text on the statue's plaque. Not to mention, the statue is a star, so the plaque reading Eternal Star would make sense. But there's two issues. For one, this gives no explanation to what the bottom text says. My guess is a date, since most statues have a name, then a date underneath them. But what would the date be for? If not that, then for all I know, it just says bottom text. Another thing is, the text looks more like Eternal Star, so there could be another word there instead of eternal. According to Daniel Nod, also known as NO64DD, the word that could replace eternal in Eternal Star and give a possible explanation for the text at the bottom is the phrase, "A secret star lie here." This would make sense, but you can't get a star from this statue, at least not in Super Mario 64. You can in Super Mario Odyssey. Those previous theories of what the plaque says are the most likely ones, but there's an interpretation that is incredibly popular, that being L is Real 2401. L meaning Luigi, a character that does not appear in Super Mario 64. A popular theory was that you could unlock Luigi. One rumor claimed that the number 2401 represented the amount of coins in Super Mario 64, and if you were to collect all of them, the game would unlock Luigi. This rumor was later proven false, since there are 2,657 coins in the game, way over 2,401. Another rumor claimed that if you ran around the statue 2,401 times, it would unlock Luigi. This rumor was harder to disprove, since this is a lot of times to run around a statue, making it possible that the player will lose count. Even more rumors popped up, since on November 13th, 1996, IGN offered a $100 reward to the person that has an authentic method of unlocking Luigi. This offer still stands and has not been claimed. Super Mario 64 was originally going to be a 2-player game. According to Yoshiaki Koizumi, Luigi was dropped from the game. He said, "Because of hardware limitations, we had a choice between cutting Luigi or making less elaborate landforms." Basically what he meant is they either had to cut Luigi or make his levels less complex. So they cut out Luigi entirely. Due to this, a Reddit user thought, maybe the statue was a memorial to Luigi, since he was cut out of the game. Who knows? What we do know is there is no trace of Luigi's assets left in the game. Nintendo themselves have acknowledged the El is Real 2401 rumor. For one, they specifically chose to add the Super Mario 64 courtyard into Super Mario Odyssey, out of all things. Not to mention, in the 1998 April edition of Nintendo Power, they say, El is Real 2401 appears on a statue on SM64. What does this mean? Find the secret using the code on page 128. So let's go to page 128 and finally solve the mystery. Thing is, there isn't a page 128. Nintendo was trolling us way back in 1998. The last thing that basically disproved the whole El is Real mystery was on December 2nd, 2016, a Redditor by the name of Bond18T posted this image of a letter they received from Nintendo of America on May 7th, 1998. In your letter, you ask why the El is Real message is on the statue in Super Mario 64. Many people think it's a hint that Luigi's in the game, and it has something to do with a special code. The real answer is that the programmers put it in there as a joke. They thought people would try to figure out what it means. It doesn't have any meaning at all. This letter is actually real. See the name at the bottom? Michael D. Chandler? He is someone that worked at Nintendo at the time, plus other letters resemble this one too. So, was Luigi never real? Depends. Remember when I said there was no assets of Luigi left in the game? Well, that was true up until this year. On July 25th, 2020, 24 years and 1 month after the release of Super Mario 64, the game's source code was leaked. In a matter of minutes, people started digging through the files to see what was hidden for so long. In those files, there was a folder called Player. Inside of it, there was a Mario folder and a Luigi folder. The folder contains Luigi's actual model that would have been used if he wasn't cut from the game. It took some time, but piece by piece, people on Twitter were able to recreate Luigi. So El was real after all. Thanks for watching this week's gaming mystery. I've been wanting to cover this for a while, but I figured something might happen. This is the first video in a series of Super Mario 64 videos I'll be making, since I want to cover the entire Iceberg, so stay tuned for those videos. Anyways, my name is Mark, and this has been Gaming Mysteries.